Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome back. Where today maybe good news. Not even maybe, it is. Like, it's sit up in your chair, lean forward, and go, what now? Yeah, Scopa did something good. Yeah, the game design went and redesigned the Feesha, making it decent. It's wild. Yeah, I'm sitting here going, this really happened. They really listened. They really did something good based off feedback and in a quick time frame. I actually feel bad. I actually do feel pretty awful, y'all. Maybe it's just for my own sake I feel awful, because here's the skinny. Truth is, well, now my first video is pointless, and selfishly I'm kind of mad. Like, selfishly I'm sad. Like, 12,000 people watched that video of us basically complaining about the Feesha, and now it's pointless. Thanks, Copley. I mean, kind of, yeah, real thanks, but anyway, goofiness aside, because that's just my personality, let's talk about how they did give the Feesha a facelift. And that's exactly what they did. They gave it a legitimate facelift. It is much better than it was before, to the point where I was saying, yes, you should have it before. Now I'm saying, like, it can be one of your better ships for what you're trying to do. Mine and obtain Latinum. Now, it still has the overwhelming problem and annoyance that it does not work with regular Latinum. So when you're talking about pulling concentrated Latinum versus raw Latinum, you will still need to go and mine out your raw Latinum if you're wanting to push that. Now, with me having a tier 6 Devore, not gonna be something that I'm going to be focusing on a lot, especially because the return is low. Even with tier 1 Feesha will give you more, 1,000 Latinum per day at the very basics. But let's talk about how they actually made the ship good. Here's a sneak peek. Look at the nodes. Look at the node speed, 115,000. Tier 1, level 1 Feesha. I've not put anything else on this Feesha. There's no officers in there, except for Grush, who's going to help improve warp range. So everything's kind of gotten a buff to an extent. Nothing has changed in its military capacity. So it still has the same kinetic weapon, firing once every 2 rounds. And it's not going to be much of a PvP boat. But the shiny golden turd that it is now is actually a legitimate miner. So let's take a look at this panel over here. It now has a warp range of 40 out of the box. Now you see I've got Grush here. So Grush is going to boost that up. And in fact, let me go ahead and take Grush off so that y'all know I'm not, lying to you. It's empty or out. No officers at all. Confirm. Now let's take a look at the stats panel. See, warp range of 40 out of the box. Now, some of you whales and higher level players will have a higher warp range due to the research that y'all have in certain trees. But for the average player, warp 40, why is this important? All the early systems for this, the warp 38 systems, the Federation systems like Sirius and Wolf, required you to have a warp range that you had to use Grush or Cadet Scotty. Now, thanks to the Feesha Facelift, you don't have to use that at all. You can get there on their own, which means that when you do unlock those Ferengi officers, you're now able to use them in full synergy mode on the boat. And here's another step that they made better. Not only has it increased its warp range, but it also has increased its protected cargo limits, which is fantastic. Why is that fantastic? Because 11,000 right now. Now, what I had before, I had 60,000 cargo and 35,000 protected cargo because of the crew that I was running. So if I go ahead and do the same thing again, where I put back Grush and then I go and find, what we got to find, DuPont, and then we've got to find T'Pring again, just a standard protected cargo crew. Here's T'Pring, and then we'll scroll back over there because apparently we don't want to maintain our spot, and then we'll put DuPont on there, assign DuPont, and hit confirm. So now that we've got them here, you can see we've got 39,000 protected cargo. That's a pretty nice number. That's a pretty impressive mark, considering that this was a boat that really you were sitting on going, can I even use this? And this is a tier 1. I'm gonna go ahead and start leveling up. And one thing we didn't do in the first video is kind of go over the price. Now, parts for this are still really ridiculous. However, at least now you're able to reasonably go out and mine this in a quick way. Instead of it taking several hours, now you're talking about it taking less than an hour at tier 1, level 1, right out of the dock to go and be able to mine and clear out a node so that you can then go and get 2 pulls a day. Before, you're needing hours. Now you're needing far less than an hour, even right out of the box. So if I go through the mining tool and I do the upgrades, we're obviously going to focus on cargo bay and mining first because that's what's more important. And we'll get that in. We'll see how far we can go in total. I'm not going to be able to level this thing out completely. You see I still got 3 parts left, and probably should have done the warp engines because that would have given me up to warp 42 naturally. But you can see the protected cargo amounts did increase. We now have 49,000 protected cargo and then 72 total, which means that I can basically go per, just leave it out on a node, and before it goes OPC, I'm going to have enough to pull my concentrated platinum. Might not be able enough to, do a double pull, but even if I just leave it out on a node, I will get that singular pull from it. So that is a huge improvement. We collect these because it really does kind of bug my OCD when these are sitting here waiting to be collected and nobody collects them. So yeah. Now, I have also found that a lot of the Federation space is always going to be more full. So if I come over here, I might have a free node in one of these concentrated latinum systems. If not, I'll just show you what it looks like after an upgrade. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and take it to tier 5. So you can see the concentrated latinum improvement there in terms of its bonus. And then we're going to see how fast it can really mine at tier 5 or level 5. Tier 5 is going to be better, but level 5, there we go. Leveled on up, which means our main is going to be at 37,864. Now, if we go throw it on a node to take a look at it, 126,000 an hour. So in an hour, we can now pull a double pull with a little bit left over. And this is a far, far, far more player friendly set for your now primary Latinum miner. I mean, when they add in the new scoring, and they're supposed to be adding in, we talked about this, they're supposed to be adding in new scoring for concentrated Latinum on Lat Mondays. When they add that in, will you even need to run your regular Devore? I still recommend it, yes. I think that you should still run your regular Devore, but you don't have the need to run through it as you once did. Now you can simply focus on, running one, maybe adding in the second if needed, and then just continue about your day and then pull what you would normally pull. If you've gotten the extra dock, that's handy. Definitely, I'm not telling people to go buy this extra dock, but if you did end up picking up the dock, now you can just simply have a Feesha dock or a Meridian dock. For me, it's a protected cargo dock. That's all I put there is protected cargo, and then I'll run my Isogen miner, or I'll run now the Feesha simply throughout the day so I can do my pulls. Still, you do want to give a little bit of love to the Devore, because one thing they did not fix, one thing that is still a problem in my opinion, is that this ship does not mine regular Latinum at any type of a good rate. Now, going with other mining crews will help that a little bit, but even the new officers, which we'll be talking about quite a bit here in the near future, are mostly concentrated on the Feesha. You take a look at Eric and his captain's ability, it is for mining concentrated Latinum with a massive bonus, which is going to really help out, as y'all saw in that chart that we have in our Discord, thanks to Ice Glow, that we were going to get a massive bonus on any ship, regardless of. And now you're looking at Eric being more of like a secondary officer, where you can put him on your Feesha, but you might load it out on a second boat, like a faction miner, so that you can go and mine fast while also still getting the secondary abilities, which these are going to be kind of less important for most players in terms of base mining speed, except for maybe mining other things. Mining concentrated Latinum nodes, probably not going to use those abilities. But if you're going to go do something like, 3-star, well, it gives you something to load out on another miner. Maybe it's tertiary, but still something that you can use and find some effect with. And then, of course, waiting to get Cork, which I'm a little bit over halfway there, 66%. Well, sorry, a little bit 60%. It's 110 shards. But don't let them take away. Increasing protected cargo, similar to how Grush works, a little bit weaker. And then the mining bonus down at the bottom. Remember, those mining bonuses are really not that great on the Feesha. They help, but they're so small compared to what the Feesha can do organically, because it is designed for the concentrated Lat nodes. So the Feesha Facelift gets pretty much a B+ for me. The A would have been if it was able to now mine Latinum at a normal rate, instead of being slower than the Devore, its predecessor, even though it's a different node type. Still would have been nice to have that advantage. Similar to how, you look at like Borg to Pring, works on any type of gas node. Doesn't matter if you're mining 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, you're going to get a flat bonus to that style of node. And I think that Latinum node should have been created in a similar way. Let me pull up 3 of 11 and take a look. The efficient gas requisition sees any type of gas mining, whether it's 3-star, 4-star, or whatever. And that is a massive improvement to the mining aspect of the game. And while we might not love it, it's still something that we need to be able to get a bonus to. It'd be nice if the Feesha operate in that manner, and maybe they can fix that, or maybe put in another option. I do want to know what you think about the Feesha Facelift. That's what I'm calling it, in the comment section down below. Now, before you comment though, make sure you like the video. Looks like this thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the little bell to get notified of every time we go live and every time new content drops on the channel. And last but not least, I encourage you to join the Discord, because that's where the magic happens. And I want to thank everybody who pushed feedback to the Star Trek Fleet Command dev team and game design, who went back and redid the ship in under a week, which we really appreciate. Still some things I'd like to see make better on it, but going from the mining rate, which was originally just the mining laser alone, originally at 200%, now going up over 600%. And the reason that's important is that's what took this node miner from really weak to where horizons were better early on to now it is better than anything else, because it has a decent mining laser. Also means you can use it on other things as well. If we just swap out with other specialty ships and compare, you could say, take a look at your right here, 850 on a tier 6 Meridian. So something very close there. For a tier 1 Meridian, 720. So pretty close to a normal mining laser for a specialty ship, more so than the Botany Bay. So actually putting it in a category that it needed to be in, which is it's actually special. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Deuces, that's me. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for those Space Cowboys. I'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate y'all watching. As always, we outing.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.